can come back. I don't know. There was about 6 people watching. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't know. Oh, I guess there's little games you could play. That's interesting. Anyways, I was saying in part one, all the things I was going through, I have been going through since like January, between my cat dying, my son moving out, and moving out mad, ripping my heart out. But, and relationship problems with my son and others. Can you that? Well, I guess I'll see if you guys can hear me. Oh, that's the question. Yeah, it's not mute. So I had to get off the other live. I feel a lot better though. Yeah, I was saying in my last video, I try to call. I don't know if I call one person 3 times or 3 different people or whatever combo. Because I have like, I think I gotta check. I think it's 4 different people. But I definitely wasn't trying to call my son. I've been having some chest pains and some stuff going on that I don't know what I'm almost scared I'm scared to go to the doctor about it because I have a feeling that if I go, they're just gonna keep me in and my my little one to look after, and so it's a catch 22. I should have went and listened to the other videos, see if hello, who's there? I should have went and seen if the other video had sound. A lot of people were saying they couldn't hear me. Can you hear me? I did the first live out of fear because I was having some really sharp pain, some really like pain in my heart, pain in my chest, wherever this area is, right? It's like sharp needles here. This part feels numb. And I was saying in my other life, people were saying they couldn't hear me, but I was saying that it almost feels like there's like weight put on to your heart and like you got hit with a stick or something, and it hit you in the middle of your chest. That's what it felt like. So it seemed like every time I have these heart things, it seemed a little bit different. Because the first one, I couldn't, I couldn't swallow, and then I couldn't breathe, and then I think I struggled for like 9 hours. I don't know how I made it through that one, and but I didn't want. It was almost nighttime. I told my kids, go to bed. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. And I just kept sitting in different positions and trying to give whatever was blocking the airwaves room to like move around. I thought I ate too much salami or or plantains because it felt like I had something stuck the first time that something like that happened where my heart was hurting. I couldn't breathe. I just, oh my God, it was so scary. That time, I think that time was the scariest and the longest. But like I was saying in my other video, I don't know if you guys could hear me. Tell me in the chat if you could hear me. The first time, what ended up helping me when my kids were getting ready to go to school was me going downstairs and walking as slowly as I could. I was like, if I collapse out here, you know, but the parking lot was pretty safe. It wasn't like people were zooming by all the time. Feel that you guys should always have like action. Like if something happens to you today, who knows your blood type? Hello, who like do you have a will? Do you have a power of attorney? Is it power of attorney? Is that what it's called? Do you have a plan? Do you know what you want? Do you want tubes? Do you want to be unplugged? Do you guys have, I know it's not normal to talk about it and people get nervous like when you start bringing stuff up, but at any age, if you are living on your own, especially if you're living on your own, but like after 18, I think everybody should have like a notebook. I seen something on Temu that said everything there is to know about me in case of emergency or emergency notebook. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like $3, $4 on Temu. I have one that's like all about mom or something like that. And I did see that it has stuff for me to write stories on, but also for that type of information too. I don't know what's going on, but like the second time that the heart thing started tripping, the second time I was like almost screaming, I think, or maybe I was breathing heavier. I I think I was screaming, like, ah, I was just trying to get the air out, and I was gasping, and because I was also crying. That time I was crying. Luckily, somebody was on the phone with me that time. They calmed me down, and I was able, after a few hours of hanging up, I was able to go to sleep. But it's a very scary thing. And for people listening, there, well, why don't you go check it out? Why don't you go to the doctor? I know a lot of people that know me in my state. They might be like, oh, you have a lot of support. That's not an excuse. But I don't. I always have to think, if I gotta go to the hospital and they keep me, who's gonna watch my kids? Luckily, my kids are older now, but at the same time, I still gotta think like that. But I think I am gonna talk to my oldest son tomorrow, God willing. um, I think I'm gonna be fine. I mean, it still feels like something is pressing my chest, but it's not. Like I'm not having the shooting pain. I'm not having like it's hard. I don't know how to describe it other than it feels like somebody hit me in between my chest with a stick and then with a brick or something. I don't know. This time around. So, like 2023 was my first one. Yeah, I think it was like winter time. No, it wasn't 20. It was 24. It was 2024. Because I remember It wasn't snowing outside, but it was cold enough that I thought maybe the cold will like shock my body into acting right. And luckily, maybe the walking and focusing on something else. But the first one was like 9 hours, 8 or 9 hours of pain trying to like move. You see, I think I'm gonna try to, but yeah, I'm gonna check the bubbles who to see who I called. But it's weird, like it's a sad realization when you realize, damn, in case of an emergency, I really can't call nobody. Like, I really can't call nobody. I don't have one person. I know if I call my son, well, he might not pick up because he might not hear the phone either, but I wouldn't want to freak him out because he would have to drive over. He would be panicking, and I would think, like, what if he gets into an accident? I wouldn't want that. So, luckily, I was able to like swipe my phone and press the first number that I have saved, and I have little bubbles on my that I was able to create the last time I had this problem, so I could just press and it calls. But when this thing started, well, I don't think I was able to focus enough to do anything, but to kind of just try to figure out a breathing position to help the sharp pains. Like, it feels like sticks, needles going in, heavy, feeling on my chest, and like I've been hit in the middle of my chest all together. When the needle thing's happening, I can't think. So I don't know if that ever happens and then it gets worse to the point that I'm not responsive. I don't know. Like, I get so nervous that if something happens to me, like my worst fear is for my kids to find me like that. Like, that would be that would be the worst. Now I have the air blasting in the living room, so when I open my door, the cool air should help. I don't want to get up just yet. So, if you don't mind, whoever you are, if I'm gonna just please stay with me a little bit. I think having the distraction, talking it out is helping. So I hope I'm not talking to myself because the other chat said on the other live that I did, they say they couldn't hear me. Maybe it was low because I can't talk my normal voice at nighttime. Plus, I'm a little hoarse. I've been yelling all week long, all month long. I've been yelling for 2 months between cussing up my vet office for letting, sending me home because I couldn't pay for 4 tests. I was like, I got enough money to pay for today. It's a Wednesday. I said, I'll come back Friday, pay for 2 more tests then. And they just send me home with my baby. They were like, yeah, give her this pill. If she don't get better. I kept emailing those fools. I emailed them twice a day, Thursday, and then Friday. I was like, I felt like she was getting better. She had a little pep in her step. She was playful a little bit. So I was like, okay, maybe my baby's gonna be okay. She had asthma. And unfortunately for the first 3 years of her life, the owners that got her just kept passing her up after a year instead of getting her the help, because I'm guessing they would take her to the vet and they would get that diagnosed like, oh, we think she got asthma. This is how much it costs to get her medicine and stuff. And they gave up on her. And then, I was doing everything I can. I noticed her wheezing, I noticed her coughing. It took me like 4 months to take her in because I was like, I thought it was just cat hair, like hair balls or whatever they're called. Because I cat sitted a lot of cats. I dog walked. I used to do everything when I couldn't work, when I was pregnant, having nausea. Animals are more understanding than human. So I did what I had to do to make money with animals and stuff, whatever needed to be done. But I didn't have my own. I did grow up with, in one of my foster home, I had a Doberman. Her name was Linda, or Lady. Linda was my foster parents' dog and my foster brothers and sisters' dog, but she was cute too. But Lady, man, once I went into the house, she got attached to me and she became my dog. And she was already 14 when I moved in, so big, and she was still strong. She was still playful. She was still acting like a little puppy. Her energy didn't stop until my foster dad would give her that firm, sit down, lady. And then she would look at me like, okay, well, just let me sit by her. She'll pet me all. She'll pet me while she watched TV. And then one morning, she didn't wake me up to go to school. Came to the living room, sure enough. But before then, she was going potties on the floor and not really acting like herself. So we knew it was coming, but it was like a week. Like she got weak and boom, one day she was just gone. So I kissed her goodbye, and that was my first experience with the loss of a dog. But I don't know, because this cat was mine and I got her and she cuddled with me, and you know, even though she did end up liking my oldest son more. Oof. I don't know what that pain is. It just comes out of nowhere sometimes. I know it comes from stress. I've been just and I had stress in my life. I've had a lot of stress in my life. I had a hard life. I know a lot of people, they have hard lives too. But But I don't know, lately I guess it just caught up with me, like my heart can't take it no more. I'm just really nervous for my kids. Like, I thought my foster parents would take care of them if something happened, and but I don't trust them. I wish I could send. I wish my little one was with his godfather, because that's the one person besides his papa him too. And you know, yeah, I can't. I know that if I even try to suggest that, if I end up in a hospice or in a hospital, my young son is gonna be looking at me like, what? I don't even know that guy no more. Like, he done moved out of Seattle and never looked back. The kids haven't seen him. Well, he came to my oldest graduation a few years ago. But even then, it wasn't like he was trying to mingle too much with my young son. So my oldest son has a great relationship with him. So I know if it was the other way around, I know that he would be okay going there because he knows him. He spent a lot of time with his godfather and going to church and all that stuff. He knows the wife, he knows him. But my young son, that he doesn't know them. And he told me the other day, I was so sad to hear him say that he really don't remember his godfather. And he definitely don't remember the wife. So it was sad because when when my first son was born, there was so many people that I had signed up for, oh, if anything happens, blah, blah, blah. End up in a hospice begging my foster parents to take my kids away from. I literally had to get on Facebook. I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, and write up a post saying, or maybe I had my oldest write it. I don't remember if I was too weak. I had to write up a post saying, like, if anybody knows us, I have to go into a hospice and I have to go as soon as I can. My foster parents decided to take a 1 month trip after meeting with the deaf doctor, making a deaf plan for me. They didn't tell me, so I didn't plan. I thought, okay, I was in bed trying to get better for 3 months. I kept thinking, okay, I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. So I just kept thinking I would get better and I kept getting worse. And when I'm around my kids, I force myself, I amp myself up. So around them, I felt like I was getting better because I was able to, my little one back then used to want to wrestle me. And I was like, man, I can't get out of bed. When I was able to talk, like, um, I was able to convince his papa to keep him. He usually went down to Florida for like 1 month every summer once we moved here from Florida. And that year I was like, look, I know you probably would be delighted because he loves his son. But I was like, I think I'm going to need you to keep him maybe for 2 months. He was like, oh man, I would love that. Da, da, da. I was like, oh my God, yeah. So I I just had to get through a few days of June once he was done with school. And then I got him to the airport. At that time, I could still walk. I wasn't coughing that bad. And I was able to amp myself up, take him to the airport, get him through. When you do minors, you can walk him in. You have to sign paperwork, get a special pass. I don't know what it's like now with all this craziness going on at the airport, but it used to be real simple. And the person that is gonna pick him up, the other person had to have their information, their name, their driver's license, everything, making sure they hand off the kid to the right person. But the cute thing is, because back in the day, you were able to walk to where somebody was getting on a plane all the way back in the tunnel and stuff. And that's what happens with a kid. You get this special pass, you go through, you do the check in. So you do the check in like everybody else. You wait for the plane to start boarding. They board the kids first with the first class. And the kids basically are treated well, at least in the airline that I use, my boys always got treated well. They always talked about how well, how many snacks they got and everything. They got treated really good. So it's scary, it's really scary to like send your kid like that. I think that was actually the first time that I had to go take him because that papa of his, he loved them so much. He would actually take a flight, spend almost 2 or 3 weeks with us here, help me out, all that stuff. And then he would, I was married to him at that time still. So um, we were trying to figure it out. The plan in Florida wasn't working, so let's try somewhere that's easier to get services and good stuff. So that was the original plan. Um, but I kind of knew in my head, I was already listening because there were some situations I just couldn't get over. But I said, I agree. I was, yeah, okay. Um, but yeah, so he would come get him, spend time with us, help us out, and fix stuff, put stuff together. I used to save all that stuff. I'm like, oh, Papa will do it, we'll do it. and and then fly back with him, and then fly back and leave like 2 days later. So he used to do that. But this time he was taking care of his one of his uncle is disabled. So he was taking care of him. So he's like, oh man, I don't, is there any way you could take him to the airport? He's old enough now. He can, they have this program. He looked at, oh man, I cried. Oof, dang. Just sat up a little bit and that hurt. Oh my God. But either way, yeah. There was some older people, like an older couple, that saw how nervous I was. and they were giving him sandwiches and extra chips, and I was like, oh, he'll get stuff. I fixed him up a nice bag of food and snacks, and he had a little portable DVD player um, at that time, because but they were like, oh no, he'll get free headphones and we'll choose for him and have him tell us what he wants. And so I was like, okay, but man, I cried all through that airport. As soon, because they make you, well, I would wait anyways. There's no way that they could tell me, okay, you have to leave now, and he's not up in the air. I would wait until the plane taxi and took off. Like, I need to see the plane up in the air. And then I would have anxiety because I'm like, oh my God, it's a long flight. Not even adults can't do that, you know. It's 5 hours one way, sometimes 6 hours another, sometimes four, but it's still a long ways to go for a little guy. And that was his first time. But he had his lucky sweater, and I still have the picture of him. Man, I've never seen him smiling as big as he did that day. Because he is very independent still to this day. He was, oh man, dang. But yeah, he was born very independent. And so he was excited because he was doing something by himself. His first words put together was, me do it. Me do it, mama. Me do it. Oh my God. He is so stubborn too. He's a Taurus. Hella stubborn. I'm like, yeah, Taurus. My best friend in high school was a Taurus. And my best friend in middle school too. I didn't realize that until the other day. I remember, and I was like, yeah, we used to celebrate our birthday. And I looked it up. I was like, oh yeah, that's still Taurus time. So, but anyways, almost somebody's at my door. It's crazy. I think it's a combination between I can't turn on the fan. I can't turn on the TV because a lot, well, not a lot, but like two people were telling me on my other live they couldn't hear me or that the sound was low. So hopefully I haven't been talking to myself this whole time. And if I have been talking to myself, I am starting to feel better. I just gotta pick a position that feels right. I haven't figured that out yet, which I think this feels pretty good. I may stay like this even though, where's my neck pillow? See, if I have my neck pillow here, I could stay like this for a while. I think my neck pillow's on the couch. Oh man, that was scary though. That was so scary. I'm not, like I said, I'm gonna talk to my son tomorrow. I don't want to scare him, but they're getting closer together. Like I said, the first one I had in 24, 2024, sometime in the winter time. Or maybe it was fall. It was cold when I went outside. That's all I remember. But not cold enough that I needed a coat. But we have a lot of those in Seattle. Where it could be spring, summer, or fall, or even winter. And you can just go outside with a light sweater or a light hoodie. You don't need heavy, heavy, heavy out here. Not all the time. But I do remember putting on a hoodie. So I was able to put stuff over my arms. So I was like, okay, if I could do that. Now I did get a sharp pain when I did that. Like, boom, boom. But around my kids, I'm the toughest, roughest person because I played it off. I didn't want them to hear me in pain. I didn't want them to see me in pain. So just imagine being like stabbed in your heart and you have to like try to, okay, let's get ready. Oh my God. Let's get ready for school because they were still kind of, I mean, not small, small, but I try to avoid as much as I can. I try not to show them what I'm going through as much as I can. Now, there has been days and months lately that I cannot hide it anymore. And I felt so bad for my oldest son because I know he felt trapped. Like he wanted to help me, he wanted to be here in case of or whatever. But at the same time, you know what? I may have to get one of those little, if I'm falling, I can't get up type of thing. I may have to. I'm gonna send a message to my doctors, see what they say. Um, I may qualify, even though I'm not an 80-year-old lady. Inside, I feel like I'm 80. But anyways, yeah, my son was so excited, and I was so nervous. And of course, the dad, Papa, was super excited because not only was he getting his son, and he had money to come get him and drop him off, he had him longer. So he was like, "Oh my God, there's so many things I want to do." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah. You mean there's so many games you want to download for him?" He had some kind of game thing that had like 2,000 games on it. Was it 2,000 games? I don't know. Some ridiculous amount. I'm like, they don't need that many games. I don't know if it was a hard drive or I don't know how. Yeah, my ex was super duper smart when it came to figuring out codes. Maybe that's how he gets it. That's where he gets it from. Because I put my son and the little one in a coding class. Coding is how games are made and all that stuff for people that don't know. And the instructor was like, man, he he was the first one to get it in the class. And I didn't have to go to him and help him that much. And so they were encouraging me to keep him on there. Keep him in there. But those classes are like, well, they were. That's when he was in second grade that he got into coding and he figured out. He did a little smiley face that was going to a castle or something like that. And the amount of math that it takes to make like just to make one dot, it takes like more math than I want to do in my head. Like, But he was like, do, look, mom, look what I just made. I'm like, huh? How you do that in 15 minutes? It was crazy how fast he picked it up. But he did watch my ex-husband fix computers, fix phones, and he was already super smart, my son. So being around somebody that was techie too, that was into technology like that, developed his brain like that. And he, I wish he had a little longer with him, because I know he would probably be going into that field right now. I mean, he does want to be an engineer, but I think he said he wants to go into something else that give him an option of like 8 different degrees if he wanted to. I'm like, oh my God. I wish, sometimes I wish that I could have them and had him first and my other one second, because I feel like as a mom, like obviously anybody that has anything going on always thinks of like, oh man, am I being selfish by having a kid? And who knows how long I'll be here for. But I don't know, like I was super confident, and like I was like, nope, I know I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be a great mom. Since I didn't have a good mom, I didn't have a good dad, I didn't have an example, but I did see like how my grandma loved on us, how like even my grandma and my grandpa from my stepmom, they were like my parents. They raised me in New York. They raised me in the DR while my parents were getting it together. And oh, now this arm is falling asleep. So, oh my God, I feel so much better. I still feel that little pinch. It's not a stab anymore. It's a pinch now in my heart. But I can deal with that part if I just find a good position to lay in, and if I'm able to close my eyes doing that position. Yeah, I gotta stop. People, like, I think to myself, I gotta stop stressing about little things. But it's been big things stressing me, back to back, back to back. It's like, so I am cutting some of the stress. I told myself today, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna numb myself, mentally numb myself, so that way I can get through this period of this hard situation. Because to go from having one of these hard things in 24, or maybe it was the end, I don't know. No, maybe it was 23, because I brought in 22 to 23 with my ex. And so maybe it was the end of 23, because I thought I remember seeing the calendar. So, um, yeah, to go from having two of these, but all three of them were different. Like there was different things that happened to me. So I'm like, is it all the same? Like, could this be a stroke? Could this be a little heart attack? What? And I'm so scared to go in. I'm so scared to go into the hospital, because I just have a feeling that they're going to be like, oh, nope, we need to keep you. And I know if that happens, my oldest will come over and make sure that my youngest gets to school and gets stuff done, but he just moved out. He deserves his freedom. So I'm trying to figure it out, like who else could I ask to help me with my son if I do need to go in for a week or two or whatever, observation or overnight, you know. So, but yeah, it seemed to work, and I was just laying down. I was good all day, like I didn't feel any pain anywhere. The numbing my emotions helped a lot. But then I don't know, I moved the wrong way or something, and then it was like, oh, I had to sit up and hold my chest, and I was like, okay. I was doing the breathing here, breathing there, breathing between my legs, just like with a pillow, crisscross applesauce, put a pillow on top of my legs, and that seemed to help. Just breathing, kind of giving my back or my chest room. I don't know. That seemed to help. I don't know. My brain was just telling me to try something, and I did it. So I know that I try to call somebody or a couple, maybe, I don't know, a couple of people, 3 people, 4 people. I don't know how many times I pressed the button. I did, you know what? It was three. It was three people, or I mean, one person twice, because I remember hearing their voicemail. Uh, but luckily, it didn't get worse. So then I thought, well, it's still hurting and I'm still a little nervous. So I jumped on live. I'm trying to stay off social media. I actually took off Instagram and Facebook, give myself a break for a little bit. So I didn't want to install it just to say, hey, I'm having another chest pain. And then tomorrow I'm posting a video of me cooking. Like, they're going to be like, what is this girl playing? I told the person that was on the phone with me, I was like, I bet you would not have believed me if I said what I went through if you weren't on the phone with me. So I thought, just in case it got that bad, that just happened. Was it last week? Either last week or the week before. It just, oh no, I went to see, the day before we went to see Mario. So whatever day that was, it was a Friday, I guess. So I think, yeah, we went to see Mario on a Saturday. Was it last Saturday? Dang, so it was only a week apart. Yeah, it was only a week apart. So yeah, if it's a week apart, it's getting dangerous. I better talk to the doctor. I'm gonna have to talk to my son. For some reason, I thought it was like almost a month apart. I spaced out on the timing of it. But I'm like, we just went to see Mario last week, I think, last Saturday or 2 Saturdays ago. I think it was last Saturday. So that means it was last Friday. And not this one that just went by, but the last one. So the first Saturday, whatever that day was, the first Saturday of April. And I think we are, is this the third week of April? I think we're in the, so yeah, it was 2 weeks ago, I think. So, whew, yeah, but that's too close Because if I had the first one on 2023 and now I had two in 1 month, two heart problems, that's a little scary. So, but anyways, I'm gonna get off because I think if I just stay in this position for a while, I should be fine. But, whew, and my mouth is hecka dry. I might have to Google these symptoms, see what Google think I have. Like I said, it was different all 3 times. So I don't know if all 3 times was the same thing. I feel like last time was more of a panic or anxiety attack. The way I had to like scream and like kind of pant for air. This time it just felt like it was all hard. The first time it felt like acid reflux, like I had something stuck in my throat at first. For the first 4 hours, it was just something there and it sat. It sat on my chest, whatever it was. Sat on my chest right underneath my chin. It felt like I had a pound of bricks, just like two two bricks that weighed maybe 100 pounds each or something. I don't know, one brick that weighed 100, but inside. But just imagine like having something weigh you down and squeezing you at the same time. That's what the second one or the first one felt like. The second one, I think, thinking about, I did look up to see, and maybe it was a panic attack, anxiety attack, something like that. This one, I don't know, because my mouth is hella dry. I couldn't lift my hand at first for the first 15 minutes or so. I don't know. I didn't look at the time. I know that I looked at the time once I was able to sit back up, and the only reason I knew what time it was is because I just pressed start on my fast. So it was like half an hour later. So for half an hour, I didn't know what was going to happen to me. And that is scary. Because even though my youngest is here, I would hate. I That's the one thing I ask God all the time. Well, however you want me to go, just please make sure that they're not the ones that find me. I don't I don't want to pass out in the street, and I don't want my kids to be the ones to find me. So those are the two main prayers that I think about. Like if it's getting close to my time, just let it be somebody else. Let it be, for all I care, let it be maintenance. I don't even care who it is, as long as it's not my kids. Like, I know if you're unconscious, you can't think, but I know me, I probably would still feel bad. When I came to, or if I came out of it, I probably would feel so guilty. Like, I would feel so guilty and bad. But I'm going to try not to think about it now because I'm starting to feel a little better. I know when I open the door and that cold air hits, that's going to help even more. So I'm going to go get my neck pillow. Try to remember when I sit back down the position I'm in and try to get some sleep. there was about 15 of you guys when I first logged on. Thank you for clicking on me. Thank you for staying if you stayed. I know sometimes the numbers don't show up the way that it really is. Because it'd be like 2 watching, 1 up. Then I get off and it'd be like 30 watching or 25 watching. Sure, I don't know if I want to get up. I'm tired. I didn't sleep good last night either. Yeah, I should be able to go to sleep tonight. Okay. Well, thank you for keeping me company. I didn't have anybody to call, but I do always have live. All right. You guys make a plan, please make a plan, an emergency plan, and have an emergency contact that you can call if something happens in the middle of the night. Don't be silly like me. All right. Bye.